Tech family, I gotta be honest, I don't love the HP Pavilion Aero 13. I get its benefits, I do, and in 2020, this laptop would have been exactly what most of you wanted. Super lightweight, powerful, Ryzen processor, good screen, and a starting price well below $1,000 US. But I'm going to be straight up. With the amount of gotchas I found with it, and for the price it's currently being sold at, I just can't recommend it, not for most people. In fact, I ended up abandoning my testing of it. That's because this channel isn't here for me to just pump out reviews of every device regardless of whether I will recommend it or not. It's here for me to give you my honest opinion of whether you should buy it. Now, I am taking a risk here. HP has been incredible to me. They've sent me products to review with no strings attached. It's genuinely helped me grow my channel, but I have to be true to you and call it how it is. When they come out with an awesome product at a great price, I'll sing their praises like I did for the Omen 15. But if they come out with a product that isn't competitive, I owe it to you to explain why and to give them constructive criticism on how to resolve it. Let's start off with the good, as there is definitely good stuff here. It's lightweight, and I mean really light. That makes this laptop super comfortable to carry around and use on your lap. It also has a good quality, bright 60x10 aspect ratio screen, which is matte and non-reflective. You can even upgrade it to a higher resolution panel for increased clarity. And of course, there is the super powerful Ryzen 5000U series processor inside. But don't get too excited though, more on performance later. The laptop's chassis remains comfortably cool to the touch, which is very nice. It has astonishingly good battery life. I measured over 8 hours on my Netflix playback test over Wi-Fi on better battery setting with the screen 3 notches down in brightness. It could probably last even longer if I turned the brightness down further. This is amazing given it only has a small 43 watt-hour battery. Lastly, there is an excellent port selection for a laptop this size, including one USB-C which supports charging, 2 USB-As and an HDMI port. But that's where the good ends though. The look and feel of this laptop is in line with HP's budget Pavilion series, which it's a part of. That means it looks functional, but it definitely does not look slick and modern. Performance is disappointing. The Ryzen 5800U processor is one of my favorite processors in any laptop, as it normally performs extremely well and sips power. But even on Windows best performance mode, HP has capped the power draw to 15 watts. That means this laptop significantly underperforms the Asus Swift X with the same processor, as it bursts at 32 watts and can draw 25 watts sustained. Take a look at these poor multi-core scores in Geekbench and now Cinebench. This also explains why the laptop feels so cool to the touch. It just doesn't draw that much power. Honestly, there is value to limiting the power draw of the processor, but that choice should be given to you, the owner. Want it to be faster? Bump up the power draw. Don't need the performance, but want a cooler and quieter laptop? Bring it back down. Honestly, with a limit of 15 watts, I would think twice about buying the 8-core Ryzen 5800U version and only look at the 6-core 5600U version. The keyboard is decent, it's comfortable, but you will feel it being a tad low travel. The base model though does not come with a backlight. That's an upgrade. You may struggle to use this laptop in a dark environment without that upgrade. Honestly, in 2021, there should not be an upgrade on a laptop that starts at around $750 US. Even with the backlight, which my review unit doesn't have, I fear that this laptop will probably suffer from the infamous keyboard contrast issue that many recent laptops have, i.e. light-colored backlight on light-colored keys, meaning there isn't enough contrast to make out which key is which in certain lighting conditions. The trackpad doesn't have the best glide to it, it's not totally smooth. It's good enough to be accurate, but it is a step back from other laptops in the price range like the Asus Swift X or the MacBook Air. The laptop's fan noise is a little high-pitched, which you'll notice if you run the laptop under any load. The fan spun up quickly, for example, when I placed a Zoom call. In fact, on Zoom calls, people kept saying that there was an echo and muting me. I had to switch to another laptop to use Zoom on. I hope this is a driver issue that is fixable. And even if it did work properly, the webcam really isn't great. Here it is in the best possible lighting conditions. I did want to check whether the RAM was upgradable, but literally could not get the back off the laptop without breaking it. Oh, and lastly, one thing that drove me nuts is the speakers. The speakers are downward facing, and although they sounded very good when the laptop was on a table, when on my lap or being used propped up in bed watching a movie, the sound absolutely wasn't loud enough. It just didn't travel well through the chassis. Honestly, I simply couldn't watch Netflix movies on it. I kept trying to hit that volume up button. Now, All of this would be acceptable if the laptop was priced as a budget one. But at the time of filming, the price starts at around $750 for the 6-core Ryzen 5600U version with 8GB of RAM and a 256GB SSD. That's the version without the backlit keyboard and worse Wi-Fi card. If you spec it up to the 8-core Ryzen processor, 16GB of RAM, 512GB SSD, the backlit keyboard, high resolution screen, the price jumps by $300 to around $1,050. And that's the issue. In that price range, you can get the MacBook Air with the M1 chip or the Acer Swift X, both of which are substantially better laptops. The MacBook Air has a much better build quality. It has a better keyboard, a far more accurate trackpad. Its speakers are much better. It doesn't have a high-pitched fan or any fan noise for that matter. By default, the MacBook Air comes with a backlit keyboard and high-resolution screen. No need to upgrade. Zoom calls work without issue straight out of the box. The only thing the Aero 13 really has over it is that it's lighter. But honestly, is anyone really complaining about the weight of the MacBook Air? You get the picture. The MacBook Air, it's just better. Same goes for the Acer Swift X. You get far better graphics with it, and that's an understatement. The NVIDIA 3050 Ti in that laptop lets you do things that this one can only dream of doing, like playing AAA games and editing 4K videos. It's also got a better trackpad and battery life is just as long. Even the Asus ZenBook 14 I reviewed last year was a better deal than this laptop. It had an included dedicated NVIDIA MX graphics, a backlit keyboard, and could often be had on one of those regular Best Buy rotating sales for $550. At the end of the day, for the Aero 13 to be competitive, it has to be cheaper, a lot cheaper. I mean, it's an HP Pavilion for heaven's sake, which is supposed to be their budget line. And you guys yell at me when I say an $800 laptop is budget. So here's my advice to HP. Drop the price by at least $100 across the board. And at that new price, include the backlit keyboard in every unit. Fix whatever is the issue on Zoom calls. By the way, if they do fix that last one, look in the description below as I'll post that it's fixed. Anyway, if they do that, then it's definitely a strong contender. If you like this video, you know what to do. Smash that like button, get subscribed, and turn on the notification bell. Not only does it show your appreciation for the effort that goes into making these, but it also makes my mum happy. Oh, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and TikTok so you can see sneak previews of hot new tech. Links below. Till next time, go do something awesome with your day, and I will catch you later. Guys, I cannot wait to start taking a look at the laptop behind me. I mean, seriously, look at that beauty.